Welcome to Velocity, the Vista Chamber podcast. I'm your host, Vista Chamber CEO Rachel Beld, and it's my privilege to interview the movers, shakers, and changemakers impacting our amazing Vista community and beyond. October is National Women's Small Business Month and National Manufacturing Month, so today's guest is a perfect choice. Kristin Fracassi is the founder and owner of Root Splendor, Vista's very own premium and all-natural laundry detergent company. As a mom of 4 boys, Kristin set out to find a safe yet effective way to remove the odors and stains from her kids' clothes. Conventional brands couldn't meet her safe requirements, and she was disappointed to discover that natural brands failed both requirements. Wanting better, Root Splendor was born. Root Splendor's bioactive and plant-based laundry essentials are powerfully effective, safe for people and the planet, and in sustainable packaging. Garnering premium performance results in independent lab testing, customers are ecstatic with the results of having clean laundry without any of the harmful ingredients. Root Splendor is available at local and natural markets, refill shops, and specialty stores, as well as online. I can't wait to learn more. Welcome, Kristin, to the show.
Hi, Rachel. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being here. Love having you here and love learning more about all of your amazing products.
Thank you.
But before we dive into your company, I want to learn a little bit about you.
Sure.
So tell me a little bit about you. Where did you grow up?
Yeah, great question. Yeah, I grew up in Kansas City, Missouri.
Okay.
So I'm a Midwest girl, and then I met my husband in Montana.
Okay.
And I love Montana, by the way, but we decided to try living out by the ocean. He's from LA, but I never actually lived in a place like San Diego. So we decided to move to San Diego, and we wanted to give it a 1-year trial, and then we would think about it again and decide where we wanted to go. But 1 year has now become, I think we're on year 18 or 19.
Okay.
So we are here now for good, and we love it.
That's San Diego will do that to you.
Yes.
Yeah, I moved here for a 2-year trial, and 21 years later, I'm still here as well.
Good.
So
You're the same.
Yeah, same.
That's
same.
Great.
So when you were growing up, what kinds of careers did you have in mind? What did you study in school?
I studied social work. So
Okay.
I love that I have my social work background. I love the helping professions and being around people and being in relationships. And you'll see that I bring a lot of that into my business and how I operate it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, social work is one of my passions. I love it. I studied it. I continued my social work career up until I started having kids.
Okay.
And then I became a part-time social worker. And then I launched Root Splendor.
Okay. So you never thought before Root Splendor that you would be an entrepreneur?
Never crossed my mind. Actually, if it did cross my mind, it was always a no thank you. That's not for me.
Yeah. And so what was it? Was there something specific that happened that led you to say, there's got to be a better way?
For sure. Yeah, it really was when I became a mom and I started learning about all the dangers and the toxins in our common products. And I was really discouraged. So I started making a lot of my own products around the home, like baby wipes and hand soap, and just kind of tinkering with things. I was able to be a stay-at-home mom for a lot of those years. So I had the time. We live in rural Vista, so we were able to do some homesteading. And I love research too. So I just started doing a lot of research on the products. And it really was, at one point, realizing I was doing so much laundry, with my 4 active boys and living on a homestead, we truly have mountains of laundry to do.
Yep.
And we were using natural laundry detergents. And I was really confident that I was keeping my kids safe, or at least safer than more traditional synthetic detergents. And I wasn't satisfied with the results those laundry detergents were giving me, but I was okay with it because I thought that my kids were safe. And because I love research and I was starting to kind of make my own products, it was one day I decided to look at the back of the panel and read the ingredient list and do some internet searches about what are these ingredients actually. And I was really discouraged to find that common ingredients found in natural laundry detergents were still not safe for my kids. I felt extremely misled as a consumer. I was a consumer. I trusted that when I went to the store, I could grab something off the shelf that looked natural, that looked safe, that claimed a lot of that, but it really was not keeping my kids safe. So at that point, I knew I did not have safe laundry soap. The laundry soap was not working well. So I decided just to start shopping for something that was safe and effective. Could not find anything that met both of those standards. And yeah, my standards were high, but I felt like they were reasonable as well.
Well, clean clothes seems to be a basic requirement of laundry soap.
It is.
That it should work and
it should work.
Your clothes should come out clean, smelling great.
Yes.
Fresh.
It needs to work. Yeah, we buy these items and we expect them to last a long time.
Sure.
We want to get the stains out. We want to get the odors out, especially if, you work out or something. You want it to be fresh, right? Like that's the point of the laundry detergent. So yeah, it had to work. So what ended up happening is I could not find anything on the market. So I just decided to start my own research again and start formulating. And it was 5 years of formulating that the entire path that I went down. Ended up hiring chemists and scientists along the way to help me.
How did you find them?
That was tough. So every step of the journey on one hand has been like difficult because I've had to learn it all as I go. I was like we already talked about, I was not an entrepreneur, not a businesswoman. So I've had to learn it all, but I've also just been extremely blessed in the business, and we'll talk about that more later too.
Yeah.
But my husband and I started just getting online and like searching for companies that helped with product formulation. Started searching for chemists, and I would interview these chemists in these agencies that did product formulation, and I told them my standards. Hey, here I am. My name is Kristin. I want safe and effective laundry soap. I only want to use plant-based ingredients that are also all non-toxic, safe for people and planet, and I want it to work amazing. I had so many no's. So many people were like, no, we cannot do that. And I finally, just a lot of digging, I found my chemist partner, and we just started this partnership where we've been working together and we've been formulating these products together.
Wow. And so the chemist, what's their role in your company now?
Yeah.
Do they have an ownership stake?
No ownership.
Okay.
Yeah, we just work together for my product formulation.
That's great.
All with my standards.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. And so what about your husband? Does he participate in your company as well?
He totally participates, yes.
Yeah,
he's not.
Is he voluntold?
Yes, he's voluntold.
Okay.
He likes to call himself the delivery boy, the box breaker downer.
Sure.
He's such my rock and my support. I bounce all of my ideas and thoughts off of him. Any pain point we dialogue through. So he's a huge part of the business, but not an official employee.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so where did the name Root and Splendor, where did it come from?
Yeah, that's a good question. So naming a business is really hard.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted something, because I was creating such intentional products with a lot of value behind it. I wanted a name that really had a lot of meaning. So Root and Splendor came about by thinking of, really, if you think of the roots of a plant, it really matters how well we nourish and how healthy those roots are. And those roots have to be healthy. We can't see it. We can't see what's beneath the surface unless of course, you're digging down there like a gardener. But we need these roots to be healthy, because from those healthy roots, can you see the growth and the splendor that comes from that? So just kind of thinking about the business, it really mattered about the ingredients. It was critical what kind of ingredients we used. Consider those the roots. And then the splendor is how well it cleans the clothes. Just like everything in my life, the Root and Splendor philosophy is, it matters what food I'm feeding myself, what relationships I'm bringing in, what kind of faith I'm bringing in. Just that all really matters. It nourishes our soul and our heart on some level. And from there, we can kind of outpour to other people.
Wow. I love that.
Thank you.
I love it. So what year did you start Root and Splendor?
Yeah, we launched the business in 2020.
Okay.
Yeah, we launched, interesting story. We launched the business. Of course, that was COVID year. We were matched with a child through foster care.
Okay.
The world shut down. We were homeschooling our kids, and we launched the business all within 3 months.
No big deal.
No
Easy
big deal.
peasy.
It was a wild time.
Yeah. Very challenging.
But it was time. We had formulated for 5 years.
Okay.
And I looked to my husband as COVID was starting and things were shutting down. I said, I have to go. It's now or never. And he totally agreed. And so we launched the business from there.
Okay. Yeah. And did you launch from home first?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, in our garage. Of course, the kitchen was my initial lab. Then I took over. We have a larger garage, took over the garage. And then we were able to secure a warehouse in Vista about 2 years ago.
Great. And you have a retail component to the store, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we manufacture everything in Vista, and then the very front of the warehouse, we have a very small storefront, and it's open to the public. We love, kind of going back to my social work roots, I love meeting people, being in a relationship. I love educating people on the products. I love meeting our consumers and people who are using the products. So people get to come into our storefront and they can shop our products. I also carry a wide variety of other home and body products that I have fully vetted that are safe for all of us. Toothpaste, deodorants, body wash, all the things. So people can come in and shop. But also I love giving tours of our warehouse and showing people what we do.
Yeah, that's great. So let's talk about your products for a minute. So you started with laundry soap. So tell us about the laundry soap. It comes, we have some packaging here. It comes in this packaging and you have several scents. Tell us a little bit about the inspiration for those. And
great. Actually, one thing I did not bring, we actually started with a line called Room and Body Sprays.
Okay.
And the reason I launched the Room and Body Sprays, I'll kind of tell you a little about that, is I wanted to test the scent profile. So I created all these scents on my own. They all have meaning of the name and why they're formulated the way they are. But the scent profile in these Room and Body Sprays is beautiful. Our scent profile is typically our number one compliment. But Room and Body Sprays, the whole purpose is like what you spray. It's like an air freshener typically. The common room spray is not safe for your body. Like when the mist falls onto your skin, it's not safe for your skin to absorb. It's not safe for you to inhale or breathe in. So I wanted to create a whole line of products that were actually safe to spray in the air, safe to spray on your body, on your sheets, on your dogs, on your kids. So that's our line of Room and Body Sprays.
Okay.
And they're lovely. You can spray those anywhere and everywhere.
Okay.
So I launched that line first while I finished all the lab testing with our laundry essentials line.
Okay.
And then I launched the laundry detergent and the stain remover along with the bamboo measuring cup and our wool dryer balls at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have to say I love the stain spray.
Thank you.
It is so good. It works so well. I was telling you before we started recording that had a really stubborn stain, couldn't get it out. I had picked up your products at the warehouse and thought, you know what, I'm going to give this a try. And to be honest, I didn't think it would work.
Yep.
I thought there's no way that this natural product is going to work on this stain on my son's soccer uniform. And it worked.
Yes.
It was a white jersey. It came out. It worked great. It did, and sometimes a stain remover will leave a ring or will change the texture of the fabric or change the color a little bit. It was as if there had never been a stain before. And since then, I've told everybody I know about it. Yeah. And so, and other people I know also just love the product, specifically the stain spray. The laundry detergent as well is fantastic. But personally, it was one of those things where it made me a believer.
Yeah. The stain spray is so neat,
the
stain remover, because you can see immediate results. You can see, okay, there was a stain and now there's not a stain.
Right.
And to be totally fair to you and everybody else, the natural stain removers that we've all been using in the past have not worked. So of course you as a consumer, you're like, no way is this natural non-toxic product going to work. But it's amazing. We get just tons of customer reviews and feedback on this. It's definitely I call it the miracle worker.
Yep.
People call it, someone just called it the other day, the secret weapon. They call it liquid gold. Like, it's got amazing names.
Yeah.
And it's legit. And all of the content, like on our Instagram, it's all what people call user generated content. So it's people like you and me and everybody else trying the product, using it, posting about it, like, oh my gosh, this stuff actually works well.
Yeah. And like you mentioned before, a mountain of laundry. My husband and I joke about Mount Laundry every week. We're both busy.
Yeah.
He's a teacher. We have after school activities for kids. We're working. We're busy. And you get that pile of laundry and you want to know, you don't have time to wash something a second time or to send it through the cycle again to make sure that it's truly clean, and when you have kids that are in sports or if you're working out, if something's funky.
Yep,
you can
sure
just
do.
tell.
Yes.
And you don't want it to be that way. So I love your products and I love the story behind them. So so you have the Room and Body Sprays, you have the laundry soap, and what is the name of the stain?
The stain
foaming stain remover is the name
of
it. Okay.
Foaming stain remover. So all of our products, like I mentioned, are non-toxic. We are transparent about 100% of our ingredients. That was critical to me. Everything I've done is based on what I want other companies to be like, or as the consumer. So I've just, everything I do, like transparency, just ethically, just as best as I possibly can. So we only scent the products. This is a big one. People are getting more and more leery of fragrances, and as they should be. Fragrances are terrible for our bodies, our respiratory system in particular. So we only scent our products with pure and natural essential oils. Again, we're transparent about all of those. So you'll get to see on my labels, on my website, exactly what essential oils are in there, as well as every single active ingredient that's in there. And speaking about active ingredients, in our products, we only use ingredients that are active. There's no fillers at all.
And what does that mean, an active ingredient?
Yeah,
what does
great
that
question.
mean?
I get super nerdy about like the science
I
behind
love it.
our
Let's nerd out.
products.
Let's go.
So what happens is we have 8 different active ingredients in our laundry detergent. And what that means is each ingredient is actively cleaning the clothes. There's a purpose.
Okay.
So we have 3 different types of surfactants that clean the surface of the clothes. So the top couple layers of the fibers of the clothes, those surfactants are cleaning, they're starting to penetrate, and they're removing that dirt, some of that stink away. But the reason why a lot of natural laundry detergents don't work, or natural stain removers, is because there's nothing in there that penetrates beneath those surface layers. So we use 5 plant-based enzymes. Enzymes work at the microfiber level. So they go beneath the surface. They go in there. They target specific categories of stains and odors. They break up those stains and odors, and then the surfactants wash it away. It's a beautiful formula. It works so remarkably well. And kind of going back to the lab testing, when I created this, I knew exactly what I wanted, but the last thing I wanted to do was put out products that were not actually doing what I said that they were doing. So for my own benefit, just for me, Kristin, knowing that these products are actually amazing, I sent it off for third-party lab testing. And when we got the results back, by the way, all you need to use for laundry detergent is 1 tablespoon,
right?
Which is half the amount of other products. I can kind of touch back that in a minute, but to finish off the third-party lab testing, when those results came back to me at the premium level, which is the highest level of clean we could get with 1 tablespoon of product, I knew we had created a remarkable product. And that's really when I decided to launch the company. That gave me the confidence to be like, okay, I know I'm not the only one who has all these kids or who's doing laundry, and I'm not satisfied with the results. I don't like how it's not safe for me. So that's really when I decided to, like, the official confidence boost I needed to launch the company.
That's when you said, I've got something here.
Yeah, I've got something there. And other people need it. I can't keep this amazing thing to myself.
Yeah.
So going back to the 1 tablespoon.
Yeah, that sounds like a very small amount.
Yeah. So you see here this measuring cup. So don't fill this measuring cup to the top. It literally has a 1 tablespoon line on here.
Okay.
Or you can take your kitchen tablespoon. 1 tablespoon is all you need. It's about half the amount of other laundry detergents require. The reason being, other brands, their formulas contain up to 90% water. So water, first of all, it's bulky. It's not eco-friendly. I knew I was formulating without water because I'm an eco-friendly and sustainable brand. So we have no water, but when you use more water, you're diluting it, so you have to use more products so they can actually clean the clothes, right?
Got it.
So without the water and with all of our bioactive ingredients and how well it works, all you need is that 1 tablespoon.
So for this package then, about how many loads of laundry can you do?
This is 67 loads of laundry.
That's crazy.
Yeah, this is a tiny box. I mean, you can see it's like a little bit bigger than my hand.
Yeah.
So I always tell people just trust the science here. Trust the lab results. We actually had lab testing redone about a year ago. We needed it for a larger company we're launching into. And again, premium results for 1 tablespoon. I'm like, yay! Of course, I knew it would be the same because we haven't changed anything in the formula, but man, it feels good to get those premium results from an independent lab.
That validation feels really good.
Yeah, it's great.
So really quick, I want to just touch on the fragrance again, because one of the things that in my family is we are all really sensitive to fragrances. And it's interesting that you mention that, sometimes if you go to someone's house and they have a candle that's burning really strong, everyone in my family were like, oh, this candle is really bugging me, but perhaps it's not really about the fragrance, it's about what's in the fragrance, right?
So fragrance is tricky. Kind of talking about, we're in manufacturing month, right?
Sure.
So as a manufacturer, I could, if I wanted to, hide lots of chemicals, lots of products in my formula and not disclose it to you. For instance, the word fragrance, we can hide thousands of chemicals under there, such as formaldehyde, and not disclose it to you. So fragrance, when I am shopping, I'm looking on the labels all the time. Even if it says unscented or free and clear, I'm looking to see if there's a fragrance in there. A lot of times unscented actually might mean that the company is adding fragrance to mask the scent of the ingredients. So yes, it's unscented now, but that's because there's fragrance in it. So when I see the word fragrance, I put it right back on the shelf, because that means no one's disclosing to me what it actually means and what's in there. So we avoid fragrance, period. Like you will never see the word fragrance. You'll see essential oils.
Right.
And you'll see exactly which essential oils they are.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for that info.
Yeah.
I'm learning so much. So you mentioned, you made a little comment about another company. So what's happening with your business now? It seems like you're really growing.
We're growing a lot. Yeah.
Okay.
So we've been extremely blessed. I just, looking back at our 4 years, I cannot believe how much we've grown. I can't believe I have a company, and the people who work for Root Splendor are amazing. Like our team, I love going to work every day.
How many employees?
Oh gosh, we only have like four full-time employees, and then a handful of contractors as well. So we're still so small, but we manufacture and distribute out of Vista. But we have only grown by word of mouth and organic traction. We've spent no money on advertising. And one of the reasons we've done that is, one, I want to have sustainable growth. We are self-funded. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, and that's a lot. There's a lot on my plate, but I wanted to grow really strong. I want to have a super strong foundation. Again, those roots are like so critical to me. So I knew if we could grow super strong and smart, that we could just have a lot of splendor from there. And that's really what we're experiencing now. So we're in about 400 retailers around the country right now.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, thank you. It's really exciting to partner with people. And then I get to bring in my social work relationship, because I love meeting the owners of the stores and working with the buyers. That's one of my favorite things. And then we're getting ready for some pretty big national launches. We've got Whole Foods launch coming up.
That's so exciting.
So we're not even on Amazon yet, and some other big companies. So yeah, we are gearing up for this next large phase of scaling up. But what has happened is people try the laundry soap and they love it, and they come back for more, and they've told their friends, and they've told their stores that they love. And that's how the growth has happened, which just really is encouraging to see.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's so great. And all of this from a mountain of laundry that you needed it to work better and be safe.
Yeah.
That's exciting. Do your kids, do they get involved in the work that you do?
They do. Yeah. They
also voluntold.
Yep.
Yeah.
Both ways. Yeah. Some of them now, like my oldest, my two oldest, they like to come work for me.
Okay.
Which is fun to have. My youngest, he goes to school and talks about our room and body sprays. And we have a bug spray called Bug Shield.
Okay.
That they use to keep their flies and mosquitoes away from their lunch tables. And we have a hand shield, which is a hand cleanser. Which is not, there's no alcohol in it, so it's not killing the microbiome of the hand. It's keeping that microbiome healthy, but the essential oils have the antiviral and other properties in it. So yeah, so my kids love it. I love bringing them to work. They represent the brand really well too. I do pick little fights with them though when they do their laundry, and they either stuff the machine so full, or if they don't stain spray, their blood stains or pomegranate stains from their clothes. I'm like, guys, you got to use the stain remover first. You cannot be walking around with stained clothes, because you don't need stained clothes. We can get those out without a problem.
Right. You have to rep the brand here too. You have to be wearing fresh laundry.
Yep. So they sometimes roll their eyes at me Mom, no, clean your clothes the right way.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, those are great life skills too. So that when they are out on their own, they know how to do their laundry. And I think, just thinking stereotypically, usually it's not the guys that know how to handle the laundry stains. So
my 4 boys,
good job.
They do. Yeah.
Good job, Mom. That's awesome. That's awesome. So, speaking about being a mom, so it's obvious that, being a mom and your role there really helped to launch your business. But how has running a business influenced you as a mom?
Oh, that's a great question. Before owning Root Splendor, I was, like I mentioned, a stay-at-home mom. And I loved that time with them. I was super creative, and we got to do all sorts of fun projects together and field trips. And now owning a business, that time that I get to do that is fewer and far between. So it has really helped me the times that when I'm able to be at home, and the time when I look at our calendars in the week, I have to carve out intentional family time.
Yep.
And that time with my kids is so special anymore. And it's not that I took it for granted before, but before the business, I had endless times with my kids.
Sure.
And now it's really special. So it makes the times like bedtime, even they still love, their backs being tickled, and books read to them. Family days, just doing things together. Even watching a sports game, or we love going to the beach together, going camping. So it's made just my time with them really special.
That's great.
Yeah.
I love that.
Thank
I love
you.
that. So where you mentioned 400 retailers nationwide, where can people locally, where can we find your products?
Awesome. So locally, I'd love for you to come visit us over at our warehouse off Business Park Drive.
Okay. And we'll link the address in the show notes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can come visit us there, but also Fraser Farms and Jimbo's are local stores that have us. We're also in a couple local refill shops. So especially down in San Diego, there's Origins Grocers, there's the Mighty Bin, there's Earthwell that all carry our products.
Okay.
And then we're also in a cool local produce stand called Sand and Straw. So there's quite a few places.
Straws here in Vista.
Yeah. So in fact, if you go to our website, rootandsplendor.com, you can click on the, I think it's called retailer list or retailer store, something on the top tab.
Yeah.
And you can type in your local zip code and find all the local retailers that carry our products.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. So, do you have any advice for anyone listening who thinks they have an idea and they maybe want to start a business?
Oh, I love it. Yeah. Yes, I do. I'd say give it a try. I'd say go for it.
Mm-hmm.
I think we, as a society anymore, we're looking for products that are better for you. We want to know who's making our products. The consumer's a lot more educated now. So even if it's not a product, if you have an idea and you want to start a business, there are a million roadblocks ahead of you. I can guarantee you, but that is no reason to stop. I'd say plunge through. Like, you're given that idea for a reason and that passion inside of you. And I'd say go for it. And reach out to people around you. There's an amazing network here in San Diego and Vista of entrepreneurs and business leaders that are so willing to help and provide advice.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay. Is there anything we didn't talk about Root and Splendor, or anything that we missed?
I'd love to talk real quick about the packaging.
Oh, yes.
You touched on it, and then I kind of went sideways with another conversation.
Sure.
But,
Yes. Tell us.
We talked about the ingredients. We talked about the efficacy, and then how the formula is packaged was critical to me. So
great.
As a company, I wanted to be just all in. I wanted to be sustainable and eco-friendly on all the fronts. So our packaging is sustainable and eco-friendly. It took me a long time to come up with this packaging concept. It was not brand new to me. I did not invent it, but in order for me to put laundry soap in it is where the light bulb went off. So this packaging is a bag and box. So it has a flexible bladder bag on the inside, and it's wrapped in this cardboard box. So it's called a bag and box packaging. And while, yes, there is plastic on the inside, both the plastic and the cardboard box are recyclable. The box is compostable as well.
Okay.
But this package gives us an 800% reduction in carbon footprint compared to the rigid plastic jug of other laundry detergents.
Wow.
So the way I like to describe that is, if you think of the full life cycle of a package. As the consumer, we're typically just concerned with end of life. Like, where is this package going to end up when I'm done? Is it going to landfill, or can it be recycled? And that's great, but that's just the very end of life. So the full life cycle, as consumers, I'm really encouraging us to think about how it's made, the pollution that goes into making it, storing it, shipping it to someone like me who's manufacturing, and putting the product inside the package. And then it goes and then it stays with me, gets warehoused, then it goes to the consumer, and then it's end of life. So there's an entire life cycle that happens before the end of life. So when we think about our packaging, I wanted something that just, for that entire life cycle, just really minimized the carbon footprint and the pollution.
And you said 800 times
800%
less.
reduction.
Okay.
Yeah. So this was a massive win for us, for Root and Splendor. But we also specialize in bulk sizes. So the majority of our 400 partners around the country are refill shops. So they buy in bulk from us. They buy 18 liters, which is 1,200 loads, up to 50 gallons of laundry soap.
Wow.
We ship those all around the country.
And this is refillable?
This one is not refillable. Okay. In our shop, they are refillable.
Okay.
We have other packages that are refillable.
Got it.
This one is not. But we sell to refill shops in this type of package.
Okay.
And then what happens is customers come in there with an empty container, or they can get an empty container from the store, fill up their laundry soap, go home and use it, come back, fill up that same package.
Wow. Okay.
So they're never, it's a total way to eliminate single-use containers.
Yeah, that's great.
So
that's great.
That's where we really specialize in that bulk.
That's great.
Market as well.
Well, and I know too, even just thinking about, just as you mentioned, the end consumer is focused just on, can this be recycled or does it go to the landfill? We're learning more and more about plastics and how really they aren't being recycled to the level that people think that they are.
Yeah.
They're really only recycled if there's a market for the plastics once it's recycled. And if there's no market for that, then the plastics actually do go to the landfill. And so that's really a challenging thing to navigate. So if folks have an opportunity to purchase a product that eliminates as much plastic as possible, then even just the end consumers doing their little piece as much as they can. Right. Yeah. But there's also, I love how you mentioned, in the manufacturing process, I think most people don't know what it takes to make the products that they use. And whether that's laundry soap or the clothes that you wear or anything, there's a lot of water that gets used. There's a lot of impacts there. So I love that you're talking about that. And thank you for bringing it up.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes,
it's so fun being in the warehouse because we have so many sustainable practices in place. The amount of trash we go through in our warehouse in a week is like a small trash can.
Wow.
We reuse almost everything we can, like the label backings, we reuse as part of our packing paper to our customers. So we just try to reuse when we get plastic bags, we'll reuse those. When we get plastic wrappings of our pallet racks, we'll reuse that. So we have fun in our warehouse. My team, the girls that work for us are so creative with how we can reuse and be more sustainable.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay. Anything else that we didn't talk about?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No, thank you. I'd say give this a try, though.
Yeah.
It truly is. They are amazing products, and we love being Vista's laundry detergent company.
Yes.
We love Vista. My husband and I wanted to start, growing our roots here about 10 years ago. We moved to Vista, and we just love it.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad.
You.
Well, I have a few rapid fire questions before we wrap up. And so my first question is, tell me a book you think everyone should read.
Okay, so I love the book, The Alchemy. Or is it The Alchemist?
Alchemist.
Sorry, Alchemist. Yeah,
yes.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
The Alchemist. And actually, I was thinking about that book when you asked me the question, if I was sitting across from someone and they wanted to start a business, what would I tell them? I'd tell them to go for it. This is the story of the alchemist, right? It's about pursuing what those little sparks are inside of you, going on the adventures. Don't worry about the failure. Like the whole journey is the lesson. So that's one of my favorite books. My husband and I have read that a couple times throughout our marriage, just to kind of just be inspired and to be encouraged to keep on and do fun things and be creative.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's a great recommendation.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Tell me a song that you always have to turn up. What's your jam, Kristin?
Okay, so
what's your jam?
Well, this is me being a mom.
Okay.
My favorite song that just fills my soul it's actually a Bob Marley song, 3 Little Birds.
Oh, I love it.
I love it.
Yeah.
And I loved this song when I had 3 boys, and now I have 4 boys, and I love that. So even though I have 4 boys and it's about 3 birds, it's still my song for my boys.
Yeah.
Just they bring me so much joy and excitement to life and just hope for the world and the future, that when I sing this song, like I just sing it just from deep in my soul because I love it.
I love that. Yeah. I love that. What is something that inspires you?
Nature inspires me. I feel very rested and soothed out in nature. I feel more grounded. And of course, from that grounding, I kind of sound like a broken record with this Root and Splendor, but grounding is critical for me. I have to be grounded in order to be kind of filled up and go back out and pour into people. So I love being outdoors.
So nature grounds you and
very much
fills you up.
Yes.
Yeah. That's great.
Much.
So is it trees, mountains, ocean?
Yes. No, I'm a trees and mountains girl.
Okay.
Yeah. Here I am in Southern California. I love the ocean. Don't get me wrong. My family, they're all surfers.
Yeah.
My husband and my boys. And I love the ocean, but I am a mountain girl.
We're not too far from mountains.
You
can get there quickly.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's good.
What's nice about
that's good. Okay. Tell me a Vista business you think deserves a shout out.
Yeah. I kind of mentioned them earlier, but I definitely want to bring them up again. Sand and Straw. So I love Sand and Straw. This is I want to say it's a 6-acre regenerative agriculture farm, family owned in Vista.
That's April, right?
It's April.
Yes.
Yeah. They're an amazing family, and they moved into this farmland and have totally regenerated the soil there. And they have CSA boxes, they have farm dinners, they have a school, they have a petting zoo. Like they sell
so much.
They sell Root and Splendor products. They have a cottage kitchen. They do all sorts of things, but it's an amazing business, and they pour their hearts and souls into that business. Not just the business, but just like the land and the community. So I love them as a family and as a business, and I definitely would love more people to know about them.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, we'll make sure to link to their website in the show notes.
Great.
I want to thank you so much for being here today, Kristin.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. I'm grateful towards the Vista Chamber. I think it's an amazing organization.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, we think you're amazing too.
Thank you.
Thank you to my guest, Kristin Fracassi, and thank you for listening to Velocity. If you like what you heard, please subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and tell a friend. Help us move Vista forward with velocity. The Vista Chamber of Commerce is a nonprofit organization that serves as a catalyst for business growth. Find us online at vistachamber.org.